And welcome back to the OHIO podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Buckeye Boggs. That man over there, that's the wild man, Chris Wilds. We got a fun little exercise for you today. Something that we like to do every now and then in the off season when there's nothing else going on. And these might change slightly because we haven't dove into schedules and what rosters are going to look like following spring ball and transfer portal and all of that jazz. That's all still to come later in the summer. But the betting agencies have all released their win totals already, and you can actually start betting on these right now. Some of them are good bets, some of them I would stay away from until we know more information. But that being said, without knowing schedules, without diving into rosters or anything, we're going to look at what FanDuel says the win totals are going to be for all the Big Ten teams in 2024. And Chris, we're going to give our initial reactions on over, under, or stay away. Sound fair?
Sounds good.
All right, let's start in alphabetical order, which means Illinois is up first. And the over under on them this season is 5.5. What do you think, Chris?
Without actually knowing their schedule, I gotta figure they're going to have 2 to 3 non-conference games that are going to be,
I know they do play
winnable games.
Kansas, just off
So
the top of my head. I know they have Kansas as one of their big Power Five crossovers.
I'm going to say, go ahead and take the over.
Take the over. So you feel
Take the
comfortable that
over
they'll
on the
get
five. I
six
think
at
they can get
least?
6. I think they
Okay.
get 6.
Yeah, I would say traditionally they'd probably get six, so I think that's a good number. Indiana also 5.5. Me, I'm under.
I'm under. I don't like Indiana as far as what they've got. They just and they've got a couple guys who have entered the portal who are really good players. So
Moving on to Iowa, they're at 7.5.
that's steep. Uh,
Last couple years
they're
they've hit the
typically
over.
a. Here's the thing. In the past, they really got kind of a bye because they didn't have to mess with the power teams in the East. Now I know for a fact they've at least got Ohio State this year.
Hmm.
They're pretty good defensively. They would bet on that. Uh,
I would say stay away right now until you know
I think
more.
for me, I'm gonna have to wait. I'd have to see the schedule, see who else they have from the East other than Ohio State.
Maryland, the Terrapins are at 7.5. They've lost a lot. Take the under.
Yeah, I'm with you. Take the under.
All right, our favorite Michigan 9.5. I'm
Hammer the under. Hammer it
hammered.
hard.
Oh my
Now,
goodness.
now
That
here's the question:
okay.
9.5 is the over under on the win total.
Yeah.
Uh, is like 3.5 the over under on the number of coaches fired for DUI before the end of
Well,
the season.
we've got two, so probably I would say if he might be safe to take the under there, get one more.
Yeah,
Sparty win totals 5.5. Ooh, boy, that's can they get to 6 and get bowl eligible? That one I might stay away from.
this one I'd stay away from. But here's the big reason why. If I recall, and I don't have the schedule in front of me, but if I recall, don't they have Ohio State, Oregon, and Michigan all three this year?
I don't think so.
I could be
Let
wrong,
me
but I thought Sparty had all three of those this year.
I can look real fast because I can pull that up. I can pull that up for you real fast. They have Florida Atlantic, Maryland, Prairie View, Boston College, Ohio State, and Oregon back to back. There's two L's. Then a bye. Then Iowa, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers. I might take the over.
You're going to take the over 5.5 on that, huh?
I can find 6 wins in there, I'm pretty sure. You find four right at the beginning of the season Florida Atlantic, Maryland, Prairie View, and Boston College. Indiana, there's five. One of the wins against at the end of the year, Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers. I think there's six in there.
I'm going to hold off, Eric. I got to hold off. I don't know that there is. I don't know that they can beat either of the last three
I'm
teams.
actually higher on Sparty than most people are because I think they have a great coach.
I
And he
think they
got
have a
and
good
he had
coach.
a lot of his talent follow him from Oregon State, my guy.
I think he had a good. They've got a good coach. I do believe in him. I just don't know that he can do it in his first year.
Minnesota, row the boat. Fighting PJ Flex. Their win total's only 4.5.
I'm going to take the over on that just because I have confidence in Fleck.
Yeah, you might have more confidence in him than I do. I ain't gonna lie. Um, without looking at the schedule, I would stay away. I know they got North Carolina to start the season. That one I know. I'm gonna stay away till I know
Well,
more about
yeah,
that team.
I can see that. I mean, but what is North Carolina this year without Drake May? That's a big question.
He's recruited really well though.
He has.
Nebraska, 7.5 wins. That they think they're going bowling. If Vegas thinks they're going bowling easily at 7.5, I mean, I have them at 7-5. Last I looked at their schedule,
That's what I was thinking was somewhere in
so
the
I would stay
6 and
away.
6, 7 and 5. Yeah, me too.
Northwestern, boy, this is tough for them. 5.5 after going 8-5 last year, or was it? Yeah, 8-5,
Yeah,
right?
8-5 after the bowl win.
5.5. Now they don't have a home stadium. They're
They
gonna play
don't.
some. They're gonna play some of their home games on
Are
a
they going to do that
glorified practice
modification?
field.
Were they going to do the modification of the practice field or whatever it was?
Yep. So they'll have bleachers, and then you're looking at Lake Michigan, I think it
I
is.
like that. I like that setup. I think that's a good setup
When they
for
play
college
Ohio
football development.
State, the rumor is they're gonna take it to Wrigley Field.
Well, they'll have to.
So five and
Uh,
a half, boy, I don't know. I kind of, without looking at anything after that season they had last year, I would say they might squeak 6 out. But
I'm going to give them a bowl game. I'm going to give them a bowl. I'll take 6. So yeah, I'll
all
take
right,
the over.
I'm gonna stay away. All right, Ohio State 10.5. I have them going 11-1.
As did
But
I. We've talked about that.
let's take the over,
Yeah.
and I think that there's a very good chance they go 12-0 possibly. Oregon, they are also at 10.5. I have them going 11 and oh, actually, I have them going 11-1 as well. So I'm going to say take the over with them as well. If you
Yeah,
think if
I
you
got
think they
to. I
beat
think that
Ohio State, there's
I
no
think
way they're going to lose in that
that's the
deal.
only loss I could see Ohio State taking is in Eugene.
Right.
So yeah,
But
I
if
gotta
Ohio
take
State
the
goes into
over.
Eugene and beats them, then they very easily could lose another one somewhere, and now they're at 10-2, and you lost that. You lost that bet. The house just took your money. So that game's huge for both teams. That one I might stay away from.
Yeah, well, who does Oregon have? That's the other thing. If I knew who Oregon had in their preseason, it'd make it easier.
I can tell you in a second if you really we
I didn't
weren't
think we were gonna
supposed to
dive
do
into
this,
this.
but
Yeah,
but I know it makes a huge difference, but
it's
I just
hard for me, somebody who likes to gamble, to throw a number out there without.
or they have Idaho, Boise, and Oregon State. Those are all 3
Those are all
wins.
wins. So
UCLA, Michigan State, those are both wins. Ohio State, a possible loss.
that's their one on the fence. Yeah,
Purdue, Illinois, at
wins.
Michigan. I think
Win.
they win that. Maryland, at Wisconsin, Washington. Jump
I,
around.
I think they're 11-1. I think
Okay,
both those teams have an
taking the
11-1.
over.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
very good. Moving on to Penn State. They just
Do we
lost
even have
to
to ask Bill O'Brien? Or I'm sorry, uh,
James Franklin.
James Franklin has the same record every year.
9.5 wins is what Vegas has got him at. Well, now he doesn't have to play. They don't have to play
He,
Michigan this year,
yeah,
but he's going to have
yeah.
to play. I think USC and Oregon. So, or not Oregon, but USC and Washington. I think it is.
I thought he had USC and UCLA. Either way, because I thought he had to back. Weren't they the ones that had
I
the back to
either
back to
way, he always
California?
goes 10-2, so you're taking the over.
No, you know what? No, I think there's going to be a team sneak up and get him.
All right,
I'm going to have him at 93.
taking the under right now. I would say stay away until we know more. Purdue at 4.5. Now this one's interesting because I really like their head coach.
I do too.
I think Watkins is going to be I think he's going to get Purdue going in the right direction. Had a tough season his first year, dealt with injuries more. Purdue dealt with more injuries than any other Big Ten team. They've lost some to the portal. He had a very young team, had a very good recruiting class. They're going to be extremely young again. Can he get to 6-6 and get bowl eligible? I think it's going to be tough.
I would have to stay away from that one right now, Eric, until I see what happens with the portal. If he can bring anything in, what all he loses, I got to stay away from that one.
Okay. Talking Purdue, and then I hear a train whistle in the background. Is that a good sign for them?
Oh, Dylan will love it. Hop on the choo
Rutgers.
choo.
Greg Schiano's been getting the Scarlet Knights going in the right direction, my man. They have an over/under from Vegas this year at 6.5. That feels that feels right to me. That feels right on the number. They're either going to get 6 wins or 7 wins to me. So I
Yeah,
would avoid that bet like crazy.
yeah, I agree. They're going bowling. I'll go that way, but I don't know whether it's going to be 6 or 7. So yeah, that needs a little more research.
UCLA, first year in the Big Ten, new head coach. Of course, Chip Kelly's over here. The cupboard's not completely bare, but it's not as good as it was. And now with the playing some of the tougher Big Ten teams who actually play defense, 5.5 from Vegas feels too high to me. I actually think UCLA might be under that this year.
Yeah, UCLA does avoid the Big Two, if I recall. But you know what? I just can't see it. I don't think they've got enough. They've lost too much, and you've got a first-year head coach in there. So, although Eric Bieniemy is a pretty good offensive coordinator, but why?
Yeah,
Why is he in college?
they play LSU too as one of their non-conference games.
Yeah, that's a troubled team this year.
They like even some of the teams that you would think they would win are not easy because like they have Rutgers, but they're at Rutgers. They're gonna have to fly all the way across the country to play at Rutgers. They're gonna have
Literally.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to fly all the way across country to play Penn State. I mean that's not easy. And then some of the home games are tough. USC crosstown rival. Um, they get Minnesota at home, but that could be a coin flip. Iowa, I think, is gonna beat them. It's not a completely easy schedule for the Bruins the first year.
Yeah.
USC's win total. You ready for this? What do you
Yeah.
think it is first year in the Big Ten?
9.5.
7.5.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah. When I,
they've
when
lost
I
a lot,
saw when I saw
but
that, I went Vegas. What does Vegas know that I don't?
I
That's
do
what
like,
came to my mind.
I like what I saw out of their quarterback in the bowl game. Lincoln Riley is an awfully good offensive-minded head coach. Depending on what the schedule is, and I'm going to save you the trouble this time, Eric. Give me a second. Looks like, and I don't have their preseason up here, but for the Big Ten, they have Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Penn State, Maryland, Rutgers, Washington, Nebraska, and UCLA. That's not exactly a powerhouse schedule for the Big Ten.
Non-conference: LSU, Utah State, um, Notre Dame, LSU, and Notre Dame.
I'll tell you what; those are both L's potentially,
They get LSU at home. This open the season on September 1st.
but they're at South Bend.
There. No, they get Notre Dame at home
Oh,
too.
they have South Bend home too. No, that's right because that was the
Yeah, they went.
last year. That was like the third of the run of tough games they had at Notre Dame because they had us, then Louisville, then.
Man, that feels low to me, man.
I'm gonna, yeah, I think I'll take the over 7.5. You know they're going to beat UCLA. I've
Yeah.
got a pretty good feeling they'll beat Michigan.
Like I don't think I know understand Washington was in a national championship game last year, Chris, but I think USC's got a better
It's a
roster,
different team. It's a different team with a different coach.
and Washington has the same over under win total from Vegas, 7.5.
And
Like,
I'll tell you what, I would probably hammer. I'd probably, excuse me, take the under on Washington.
hmm, interesting. Okay, I would stay away right now from that,
Yeah,
but USC feels low to me. It just does. Wisconsin 6.5. I was looking at their schedule. This is what
yeah.
spurred this on. Is I was looking at Wisconsin's schedule. Man, is it tough! Like it was hard for me to find 6 wins, and I found 6, but Vegas has got him at 6.5. I wouldn't touch that at all.
Let's run the schedule one time, Eric.
You want to look at theirs? Sure.
Let's look at theirs. Just because I want this for Fickle, I want him to at least be bowl eligible this year.
All right, we'll go down their schedule for you because I know
Yep.
you're a Fick fan like I am. All right, they opened the season 2 home games in a row that should be dubs: Western Michigan and South Dakota.
Yes.
Then they host Alabama.
Probably lost.
Get a bye week before going on the road to take on USC. That should be an L.
Now you're at 2-2.
Okay. October 5th, they host Purdue.
Uh, I'm going to go ahead because it's at Madison and give them the win in that one.
All right. Let's see here. So you have them at 3-2. On the road at
Yep,
Rutgers. That's not easy.
that's tough. That's tough. Uh, you know what? I like what Shiano's doing. I'm going to take Rutgers to pull it out.
On the road
Give,
again, second road game in a row at Northwestern. I think they can win that one.
I think they can win that one. So you are now at what
4
4-3.
and 3. Host Penn State.
I, I want to see Penn State first to see if Aller's really progressed that much because that one could be a coin flip game.
I think we're at 4 and 4.
I wouldn't be surprised.
At Iowa.
I Kinnick is so tough to go into and get a win. I'm
Probably a
going to give
night
Iowa the
game.
nod. Yep,
All right, so they're at 4 and 5. Bye week. They host Oregon.
loss.
4 and 6. At Nebraska.
I want to give that one to Fickle, but I don't know that I can.
That one's a coin toss.
That's a coin toss game.
And then home against Minnesota to finish the season. They can win that one.
I think they can win that one.
So you're at 5 and 7 or 6 and 6. And
Yeah,
they were at 6.5, man. I don't see.
I don't think I can.
Wisconsin's
I don't think I can take the over.
I'm interested to see how this goes this year when everything shakes out. But my prediction is that Wisconsin has the toughest schedule in the Big Ten.
Yeah, the schedule makers did no favor to Wisconsin, other
No.
than the fact they did leave Ohio State off.
Right. And Michigan.
Well, even if Michigan would have been a favor to them this year.
That's true.
Michigan's a JV high school team
Jeez.
with
Like, share,
intoxicated
subscribe. We
coaches.
really we really do appreciate it, guys, if you do that. Helps out the channel. We will be back Sunday night with another live show. Hopefully Chris's internet will be back up and running a little better. He's running off the phone tonight, which is why he's breaking up on us so much, but we'll do better next time. Hope you enjoyed that. Let us know, who are you smashing this in bets? Are you like us and hammer the under with Michigan? And like me, I'm kind of over. I'm saying take the over with USC. Is there somebody that we're missing that you think we need to be on when betting happens? Let us know in the comments below. We appreciate that. Until next time, be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH. Sing Carmen High with all your heart. OH.
I hope.
Go Bucks.